And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, your local real estate economist of choice right here in Tampa Bay. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And the most important part of this show is we want to engage with you. We'd love to connect with you. We want to be your super connector, your resource to all things business, finance, estate and tax planning, real estate, credit, finance. So many things here in Tampa Bay that we can help you with. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. ConsumerQB.com is the website. ConsumerQB.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at ConsumerQB.com. Giving a shout out to the Bill Maher Beach Resort as well, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the beautiful Bill Maher Beach Resort on Treasure Island. Make sure you give them a call. Let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on the special offers and incentives. 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant, and just a lot of fun to be had there at the Bill Maher Beach Resort over on Treasure Island, Florida, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a great lineup for you today. We're going to introduce our guests, our expert contributors, Diane, Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, Brandon, how are you today?
Doing
Sorry I missed you last week. I'm glad I'm back. And I'm actually via Zoom, so you know how that works sometimes. Today, I want to talk about, I know that we have the credit repair restoration with us today, Mr. Crowley, and we work together a lot to get customers to their end result, which is the ability to purchase a home if their credit is not where it needs to be.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to dive into some rent versus own analysis and how that actually works for folks. And a lot of good things coming at you from Diane, Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. Support the local economy, local lender right here in Tampa Bay. And on the phones, we got William Crowley, the credit magician.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of things today, and especially, I work closely with Diane and even with Brandon. But this rent versus own, people should really consider this. It's not, if credit is the obstacle, we'll definitely get you over that obstacle pretty much 9 times out of 10, okay? The cases, some of the cases that Diane definitely can't handle, she'll shoot them over to me, and I'll handle the more difficult cases. But we're going to do this perfectly legal, transparent, and we're here to help you to get over that hump using the Fair Credit Reporting Act that Congress created for consumers in the 1970s. 1970s, folks, not 2000. This is a law that's been in place since the late 1960s, early 1970s. But most people just don't understand how these tools work and their benefits. These laws help the consumers address negative issues on the credit report and have them legally removed in a matter of 30 business days or sooner. And it helps you to get in that house. If you're renting, folks, you're paying way more. 9 times out of 10, most people that rent, that go to own, you're going to be paying a lot less owning, and you're going to have a lot more advantages as well. Of course, Diane will address all that, but I'm here to help people to get over that hump and go ahead and own as opposed to rent. Save that money.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So we got William Crowley, the credit magician, on the show, Diane, Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and a lot of times people wait till the last minute. They want to get their pre-approval done and then rush around, and you're wasting a lot of people's time by doing that. We want to teach you how to do that properly, get the process in place, and make sure you have that power, that purchasing power of a pre-approval in your hand. Also, we got Eli Gonzalez, the Godfather of Ghostwriting. Welcome back, sir.
Brandon, great to be here again.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. My pleasure. And also, we wrote a book together. We're writing another book together. So this will be my 3rd book together or total. And man, you've got, I forgot how many you said, 85 or 135 books.
Yeah, I've written 85 books as a ghostwriter for other people. I've co-authored 4 other books, and I've authored 2 books. So I've published 91 books.
Nice.
Myself. My company, The Ghost Publishing, We've edited roughly about 250 books, probably published around 300 books in the last 5 years.
Nice. Wow. What lessons have you learned from that?
There's so many, but what I'm going to talk a little about today is growth through content. While the pandemic is starting to ease off, there are still so many more people in front of their laptops, in front of their phones, that now they say you are what you eat. And that's true in a lot of ways, but in business and in likability and in influence, you are what we read. So I want to talk a little bit about how you can either grow your business or grow your influence through your content, because we have almost like a hostage audience with so many people still at home. And there's so many people that are missing a golden opportunity to be heard, to be read, to be understood, to have people feel like they know, like, and can trust them.
Yeah, absolutely. More and more people are looking at their phones. The traditional methods of, on the way walking in today to the radio station, I had someone call me, want me to put an ad in a book. And I said, I'm not doing much print advertising in terms of books. I think about, talking about the magazine type stuff, right?
Right.
I'm looking at where are people getting their content. They're finding their content online. They're on social. And then when you separate yourself by writing a book, and you've written almost 100 plus books, you've mentioned, a lot of books, you're separating yourself as a professional. You are a authoritative expert at that point. So it's a big difference between the person that's kind of getting their start, and you can actually tell that.
Yeah. But the written word is the big leverager.
Right.
In terms of blogging and in terms of posts that you put either for your company or for yourself.
Right.
You don't have to be a big company to start to brand yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. Just a few tips and tricks and techniques, whether you're business or civilian or you're a regular person, how you can use the written word to your advantage.
Right. And I think you're right on point when you mentioned content, because if you can put out quality videos, quality content, especially if it's 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 15 minutes on the long run, that is specific to a topic. Like today, we're going to talk about 10 things to consider before moving to another state. So the idea is there, we're going to talk about quality of life, taxes, schooling, airports, politics. How did the governor handle the epidemic or the pandemic, population growth, crime rates? Those are all things that you're going to look at before you make a decision to move. And we're finding out, here's a kind of a tipping point of where we're going to go. New York, New Jersey, Minnesota, California. Those are states that people are fleeing from. More and more people coming to Florida, Texas, Nevada. Those are the top 3. So, hey, great lineup for you today here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Make sure you follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page, Platinum MVP team on Facebook. And we'll be right back with our expert contributor, Diane Vance, coming up. Fairway Independent Mortgage.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That is always our goal. And we want to help you with buying, selling, or investing in real estate, of course. And we also want to thank our sponsor, Two Maids and a Mop, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, right here in Tampa Bay, Clearwater, Florida. Two Maids and a Mop. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. They offer safe, reliable, professional-grade cleaning. Reach out to Two Maids and a Mop. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on the special offers. Just by mentioning that you're a fan of the show, they're going to take care of you there. Tabitha and her team at Two Maids and a Mop out of the Clearwater location for Two Maids and a Mop. Reach out. Let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you. A couple of hot property listings here. We've got 6417 Yvette Drive. This one's in Hudson Beach Estates, and it's right up on a canal. It's got a deep water access. You got gorgeous views over of the intercoastal waterways here. Go fishing, enjoy a nice time out there. 2 beds, 2 bath, 1 car garage. You got a separate office as well. Great opportunity right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also, check out 14527 Potterton Circle. This one is also in Pasco County. $204 is the price tag. Great entry-level home right here in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. platinummvpteam.kw.com. And we would love to talk to you, of course, if you are buying, selling, or investing any real estate here in Tampa Bay.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, let's go to Diane, Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, local lender, support the local economy, stay away from the big banks, work local here. Diane, welcome back.
Hey, it's great to be back. So I missed you last week, but it's awesome to be back. And today I'm going to speak a little bit about what's going on in the market and how things are improving with the underwriting guidelines. And I'm going to give a little bit of a rent versus own that I just talked to a customer today about.
Oh man, I tell you what, our real estate in Florida is going to be booming. We've got some more information. We're going to talk about 10 things to consider before moving from one state to another. You know, everything from quality of life, taxes, quality of talent, schools, airports, politics, quality of the market. You know, we're going to go deep in that coming up in the show. But when you think about the migration patterns, that's really what we're talking about. People are moving from California in droves, New York, New Jersey, Minnesota. Some of these cities and states that have unfair taxes or unpopular tax programs. We're getting busy, and I'm sure you're very busy as well.
Oh yeah, very busy. It's if you remember pre-COVID, we had a lot of guidelines, jumbo loans. We had, credit scores. We saw that change with the COVID. We saw some of the jumbo programs go away, but they've came back, and the credit scores have came back. So we're getting back to a normal market as far as the actual, what's going on the guideline wise, which is always a good thing. So today unemployment claims. Actually, the new claims actually went down, but the existing claims, of course, went up. It's probably because people are actually getting paid at this time. But the unemployment figures tomorrow are going to make a big difference in interest rates and things like that. So take a look at that. And I also wanted to talk about, now is a great time. The interest rates are so good. And to purchase a home, I talked to somebody today that they were paying $1,000 a month. They could actually purchase a $160,000 house with, they put 20% down, but you could put as little as 3% down. But with 20% down, her payment was only $735. All that depends on credit scores, of course, and interest rates at the time because they change every day. But it's a great time to buy, and I would probably really start looking at that because you are going to be able to buy eventually, and interest rates are predicted to stay low. But while they're really low, we probably need to take some action.
That's right. Yeah, definitely take action, especially renters out there. So think about that scenario. They're saving about $275, $280, $65 a month. Difference in rent payment versus the savings, just strictly dollar for dollar. But there's also a lot of other benefits, Diane.
Absolutely. It's your home. You can paint it. You can do whatever you would like with it. So, plus you build wealth, and it's going to appreciate, especially in Florida. Um, exactly what you said. We are getting a lot of calls from out of state. We're very, very busy. I think I had one of my better personal months in May because of a lot of closings, and it's because people are moving down, or they're moving from California, they're moving down from New York because of not only the COVID, but also because of the high taxes, and they're wanting to come here and relocate so they don't have to pay the income tax. So we're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Diane Vance. She's our mortgage expert contributor here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program, top 5 lender in the country. Her company's already closed billions of dollars in volume this year. And when you look at the local economy here, you want to support local companies that are contributing back into the local economy. And that's what we urge you to do with our hotline at 813-670-7372. Call or text our hotline anytime you have questions. And we want to remind you as well, we want to be your super connector. So give us a call, 813-670-7372. And we're talking with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I was just looking at another one of those documentaries online on Netflix, I think it was, talking about some of the big companies. I won't go into specifics and name calling here, but, a lot of the big banks, big companies, they're involved with a lot of stuff that's just not good. You see it over and over. So by supporting the local economy here, Diane Vance and her team, she's based right here in Tampa Bay, I think out of Pinellas County. And talk a little bit about your team and some of the local aspects of your business as well, Diane.
So we're a national company, and the reason they call it Fairway Independent Mortgage is because they want each branch manager, area manager, because we know our local market. So they let us do what we want to do. We're known for fast service. We're known for fast closings. We don't miss closing dates. I have a very seasoned team, and we have offices in Pinellas County and Tampa, and in Polk County, and in near Orlando, kind of in a little area. And we are, but we're a large company. We're employee owned. So it's very important for all of us to take care of the customer and to actually help our local community. I just delivered some KN95s to some nursing homes because they're using those a lot. So we actually, for our American Warrior Initiative, our branch and a lot of other branches around the country, so that we could support our initiative, we purchased a bunch of N95 and KN95s to be able to nursing homes and hospitals. And part of that money went to help support the American Warrior Initiative that we have for VA loans, veterans. And so we just delivered some to a home the other day, nursing home, and they were very appreciative because, again, they're having to use these masks and they keep running out. So we're trying to help as much as we can.
Yeah, the seniors have really, been taken, for a ride over these last several years, 8 to 10 years. Not only, anytime the mortgage rates are low, that means they're also their payout and their savings loans, their savings, retirement funds, pension plans. Those are also paying out less money now. So the seniors, and then now they get hit with COVID-19. They're in the hospital, they're in a nursing home. They can't have their family and loved ones come in and be by their bedside. Man, I really feel for our seniors right now, Diane.
Yeah, it's really hard on them. And you're right. Yes, it's great for interest rates when they're low for our mortgage rates, but not so great for the seniors that depend on, interest from CDs and things like that. But, it's all about the economy. And, the economy is coming back. People are going back to work. We've had a lot of customers that actually were furloughed and they are back to work full time now. So if you're one of those folks that were furloughed and you get called back, you still can get a loan. So we just qualify you based on the hours that you're working. And most people are able to go back full time. So we're finding a lot of our customers that maybe weren't able to purchase, they are now. So they're excited because it is a good interest rate, and they're excited because they're back to work.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about today, Diane, was the taxes and why people are moving to Florida. And I've got an interesting stat here. It's states with lowest taxes by population. You got New Hampshire, number 1, Alaska, Wyoming, which, of course, those are low population states. South Dakota, number 4. Number 5 is Florida, and its property tax per thousand, I believe it's 1,041. So the state, a lot of times we don't have that state income tax. So you look at, hey, what's the issue? Why are more people moving to Florida? Well, that's a big one right there. Taxes. Yep. Taxes, Diane, because we don't have a state income tax here, so we pay doc stamps on the mortgage and the deed. Can you talk about how that translates?
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, talk about how that translates, because, when I'm explaining that to people sometimes, especially if they're from another state, they don't really understand, well, why do I have to pay these title fees?
Oh, yeah. So the title insurance, what that does is the state of Florida actually has what is called a promulgated rate. So they set the title insurance fees that the title companies can pay. So typically, depending on where you purchase in what county, the seller will pay the title insurance, owner's title insurance. And what that does is that gives you a clear title. No,
sounds like we lost our Zoom there.
Owns that property, and they verify the deed is clear. And the customer actually has and then we ask for, of course, a lender's title policy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm actually in the car, so you may lose me.
We're good now.
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, so because we don't have any taxes, income taxes, you may want to pull over somewhere.
Yeah, so the income tax is offset by the taxes that they're paying.
I'm gonna pull over.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, so the 10 things to consider before moving from state to another state. Number 1, quality of life. Okay, so weather, family life, sports, entertainment. We've got that going for us, right? Then you got taxes, quality of talent. If I'm a business owner and I want to move my business from one place to another, we want to talk about that. By the way, shout out to Valuetainment, Patrick Bet David, looking at some of his stats here that he put out on YouTube. Quality of talent, people that are looking to find a job, or let's say, for example, you want to open up for a hedge fund, some type of financial services. Well, New York is going to be heavy talented that way, stacked heavy for talent. And then also Silicon Valley, of course, when you think about tech companies. But think about Florida. We still have some great graduates, a lot of young talent, millennial talent, and Generation X and Z. You've got a lot of opportunities for that as well. Taxes wise, you look at taxes. We are one of the lowest in terms of taxes in the state, or in the nation rather. And then also the Small Business Policy Index, looking at policy measures of cost impacting entrepreneurship and small business growth. So we're ranking the 50 states here again. Small Business Policy Index. We've got Texas, Nevada, Florida, number 3. Florida is number 3 on that, 49.9. And then all the way down at the bottom, 47, 48, 49, 50, New York, Hawaii, California, New Jersey. And that's why you see a flight from those states to Florida. Another one of the major reasons why you see a flight from those states to Florida. And, going on, Small Business Tax Index, very similar for small businesses. If I'm relocating a business, I'm an entrepreneur, maybe in California, paying 13+% state taxes, and you got the federal taxes on there. Some of the counties even have additional taxes that they're going to levy. You've got Texas, Florida, Nevada, again, number 1, 2, 3. And when you look at Florida, the bottom 4, New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, Hawaii, California. Again, the similar states, the similar governments that are misusing, not spending their money wisely, in other words, and looking for bailouts from the federal government. And then you go to the states with the lowest tax population. Again, Florida, number 4 on that list. So lots of reasons why people want to move to Tampa Bay. lots of good things happening, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. It's a great investor market. We also got some information about Airbnb. Some of the latest stats. A lot of Airbnb owners are looking to get rid of their properties. So could be opportunity there for folks to invest in some of the Airbnb properties, because let's face it, you have to live somewhere. You got to have a roof over your head. It's an insurable asset. So the investment in real estate, again, I go back to it again and again. I'm so bullish on real estate because of the stock market, for example. The other side of the coin is, I'm going to invest in stocks. Well, look what happened again. You had a lot of paper money lost. The COVID-19 came in. A lot of people lost money based on their retirement plans, their stock investments. They lost valuation. And who wins in that, right? So you've got the small person getting beat again, the middle income earners constantly under pressure and then with this bailout, $4 trillion worth of money that our great leadership in Washington, D.C. decided to pass. Who's going to pay for all that? Who's going to pay for that? The middle income earners, the middle class. And of course, some of the wealthy are going to pay a fair share as well. But when you look at it, the majority is going to come back to the middle class. So, hey, we're going to come right back. We're going to talk with William Crowley, credit magician, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A lot of people got hit with their credit. What's happening? How's COVID-19 affecting the credit of a lot of our Americans and small business owners here in Tampa Bay as well? Stay with us on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a feel-good story of the day, which is pretty cool. Man is filmed giving the shoes and socks off his feet to a homeless man. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Hey, thanks for sticking with us here. Brandon Rhymes, I'm your host of the show. We buy houses cash. Just want to let you know as well, we have opportunities to buy quickly. So we have Keller Offers, which is a instant, fast cash offer on your home. So if you're buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you, the local real estate economist of choice right here in Tampa Bay. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here for this segment. We got 520 George Street South. Now, this is a waterfront property, lake access, open water views, wide open water views right here on Lake Tarpon, and it's listed at $499. It's a great opportunity. I'm surprised it hasn't sold yet. Mother-in-law suite up front. You have your own private boat dock. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, paddle boards, fish from your dock, catch some nice bass out there in Lake Tarpon. I know I've caught a couple myself, and I'm not even that good of a fisherman. So Lake Tarpon access right there, right on the lake. 19206 U.S. Highway 19 North. This is a $1.5 million asset. What we've got here is a commercial dealership, car dealership currently. Could be reutilized for other areas. You know, you've got 5 offices, reception, kitchen, break room, conference. Great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay. It's one of our commercial listings, and we do list residential, vacant land, and commercial properties with the Platinum MVP team. We're going to help you sell faster for more money utilizing our innovative strategies right here in Tampa Bay. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And this segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot, one of our show partners. Test drive today. Reach out to Golf Cart Depot. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. They've got the Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman, remanufactured and pre-owned golf carts available from the Golf Cart Depot of Florida. Tampa location up in Land O'Lakes. They got a Clearwater location off of US 19. Reach out to our friends at Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to Marty. He's the owner. Let him know you talked to Brandon or you are a listener of the show, and take him up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right. So we go into the phones now. We got William Crowley back on the show here. William Crowley, credit restoration expert. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Been busy, I tell you. You know, the phones are busy.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the COVID-19 is kind of in the rearview mirror at this point.
Oh, it is. And like I said, I tell people all the time, whether we're in a crisis or not. I mean, for the credit industry, I always just assume that we're always in a crisis because I want to get people over that hump to get them into this, into owning versus renting. I mean, it's not that difficult, as Diane was explaining earlier. It's really not that difficult. And one of the first things that Diane's going to look at in the company is your credit. So go ahead and prepare yourselves now. Start addressing these issues on your credit report and understand the dynamics of the credit industry. And so we've done that through our credit restoration assistance program versus your traditional credit repair companies, okay? And I'm not here to really knock the credit repair companies. I just want to show people the difference, where ours is more of a hands-on, transparent program where we're showing people, yes, the information does belong to you, but it can be legally removed from your credit report using the Fair Credit Reporting Act that was created by Congress in 1970. Now, what we're doing is we're actually training people to become their own credit experts. A lot of people have some familiarity with dealing with their credit in the first place. And then Diane, when you go to the Diane, she's going to give you some ideals as well. And then for the more severe stuff, Diane's going to send you over to us, and we're going to start to address that information legally, and we're going to be teaching you how to do your own credit repair. Nevertheless, we're doing everything for you, but everything is going to be given to you just to sign off and forward to the credit agencies because they only communicate with the consumer. And a lot of times people consider this a tedious process and, oh, wow, my credit's not up to par. I can't get a property. In reality, myself, Diane, and others on the phone, even Keller Williams under Brandon,
yep.
Our motivation is to get you into a home, regardless of the circumstances. We're going to do everything legal and by the book, but we found out that, listen, this going legally and by the book is the most simplest way, and it's going to protect you as a consumer. And with us, we're going to teach you how this process goes because everything is transparent. So if you're renting, I know you're paying way more than you would do in owning. And Diane gave a perfect example earlier. I forgot the exact figures, but a person went from renting. Do you remember the numbers?
$1,000 a month and they were able to purchase a $160,000 home, and their payment dropped from $1,000 down to $735 a month.
Right. And let me just make sure that people understand, you don't have to have perfect credit to do this. Okay? There's just sometimes there just needs to be a certain amount of issues addressed on that credit report, and that'll get you over the hump. Diane also said that the programs are becoming more consumer friendly as they were prior to COVID-19.
Right.
So people should really take advantage of this and don't let credit be a hindrance. Me and Diane work close together with the clients in getting them over that hump. We want to save you money, folks. I mean, and renting, the renting, sometimes people have reasons why they're renting, but if it's credit and if you want to own, you can do it. Okay. We have all the tools in place to help people to get over that hump legally and efficiently, and the consumer is going to be totally aware of everything that goes on. So this is a dynamic time right now, especially since COVID-19 is on the decline. And then Florida being another, and I heard you mention how Florida is I think it's number 5 as far as the state income tax, and a lot of people are moving here. So
Yes.
those people that are moving here, go ahead and start making sure that your credit's up to par. Don't move here to rent, move here to buy.
Right on.
Okay, and we can definitely help you to get over that hump. So in your transition period, let's go ahead and take a look at the Fair Credit Reporting Act, people. I'm not a rocket scientist, and this is not some type of secret program. This is the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970 that we're using. 1970 that we're using. It was created by Congress to protect the consumers against the abuses of the credit industry, or the credit agencies. Okay. The credit agencies are just private companies, and they're out there to make a buck. But the point is that we know that our clients, the information that's on their credit report, we know that it is theirs, but at the same time, it can be legally addressed and removed from the credit report to give you a second chance, okay, and take advantage of that second chance. Own versus rent, and it's not that difficult. So be proactive. Yeah, be proactive. And I guess you want to say something about the package that we're going to
Yeah, RaiseOurScore.com is the website, RaiseOurScore.com. William Crowley, the credit magician. Text the word credit to our hotline. We'll put you right in touch. You're going to get a free credit package, 813-670-7372. Just simply text the word credit to our hotline, 813-670-7372. And we'll be right back with more. We've got Eli Gonzalez, Godfather of Ghostwriting, in the house. Going to be right back here. Great content coming at you. Don't touch that dial.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. This segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to our friends Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. And we're talking about the Myers cocktail, other types of vitamins, minerals, electrolytes directly injected right into your bloodstream, vitamin infusion drips from Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They will deliver as well. They'll send nurses over to your home or office, and they will hook you up. Say hello to our friends, Replenish IV Solutions. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day. We love to tell you something good here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Tell me something good.
All right, so a man is filmed giving socks and shoes off his feet to a homeless man. A man in Magnolia, Mississippi, had no idea that he was being filmed as he offered the socks and shoes off his feet to a homeless man. Ray McGee was driving his tractor when he noticed the bottom of the homeless man's shoes were in bad condition as he walked. McGee stopped his tractor and hopped off to approach the man. That's when McGee's daughter, Sierra, pulled out her phone to record her father taking off his own socks and shoes for the homeless man to wear. Sierra said her father hopped back on his tractor barefooted and continued with his day. So there's a small little random act of kindness that we always talk about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Love that stuff. And let's go to our in-studio guest here. We got Eli Gonzalez, the Godfather of Ghostwriting.
Yes, sir. Back and live in the flesh. After a few Zooms, the world is starting to open up. It's good to see you in person again, my friend.
That's right. Yeah, it feels like it's in our rearview mirror. It really does. It seems like the phones are ringing, things are happening, people are reaching out to write their books.
We are slammed. I'll tell you what, these last 60 days, book sales have increased by 770%.
Wow.
The only paper product outselling books in the last 60 days is toilet paper.
Toilet paper and paper towels.
Yeah, but book sales is right there. So if you're thinking of writing a book, millions and millions of people have just joined the market, the readability.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect time. I'm also a what's called, we do white label editing. So I have a 6-person team, and we edit for major publishing companies. They outsource us.
Cool.
So one of the major companies that we work for, they've had record number sales in publishing.
Nice.
Contracts. So a lot of people, the writing industry is not dead. It's just been jolted awake if it was dying.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking of writing a book, that is a great thing to know. It's a great time to start writing your book. People are reading more than ever.
Yeah, they are. I'll hold up a copy of one of the books I wrote, and we've got a new one that we're writing. I love the idea of, as an expert contributor and someone that has knowledge, someone that has specific industry knowledge, you can really separate yourself from your competitors by putting that information out there, especially when you bring it into the 2020. You're adding the social media flair in there. You're talking about success stories. Talk a little bit about that, how you're able to do that.
Yeah, well, there's no better way, I think, to grow a business than by getting on stages, right? The credibility you get on stages, talk to massive amounts of people in a short period of time, right? And then, when that gets videotaped, the credibility that does. But the best way to get on a stage is by being an author.
Right.
Sometimes just the fact that you were an author, that trumps even being a doctor or having a degree on something.
Yeah.
If you have a degree on something, it might have been 15 years ago. It could be deemed no longer relevant. But if you wrote a book on something, you are not the student that got the degree. You're the professor that taught it.
Yeah.
Right. That continues to teach it. So if you're a business owner and you want to get on stage, there is no better way to differentiate yourself than by writing a book. Now you need 3 things. You need the right book, you need the right plan, the plan customized to your personality.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need the right team to execute it. But it does start with the right book.
Yeah.
And in terms of locally and referrals, referrals are the lifeblood of most small businesses.
Yes.
Referrals are awesome. They're free. When you talk to someone that's been referred to you, they've already been warmed up, they've already been qualified.
Yep.
And the magic about the referral is that person wants to do business with you because of your mutual friend that referred you guys.
Right.
So there's an unfair momentum and advantage to close somebody that's been referred to you by a mutual friend. Now, there's no better way to get more referrals than by having a book.
Yeah.
For your friend to say, hey, no, you got to talk to my guy. My guy's an expert. Check out his book. He wrote a book on it. Let me hook you guys up.
Yeah.
And so whether your goal is to grow locally or to get on national stages, shows like this that are syndicated, the best way to do it is by writing a book. And especially there's so many competitive markets right now. You can go from 1 out of 2,000 to 1 out of 5.
Yeah. Differentiate yourself.
Yeah, and we look at authors as subject matter experts, and you are, but it has to be done right.
Yeah, we're talking with Eli Gonzalez here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Godfather of Ghostwriting here in studio. And I like to talk about the process, too, because you make it such a seamless process. We sit down, we schedule. First of all, people, when they think about writing a book, they get overwhelmed because they don't compartmentalize, hey, let's do it one chapter, 1 week at a time, like we're doing. So every week we get together for a Zoom. You have the chapter, the ideas ready to go. You say, okay, talk to me about this. How do you do that? Give me your advantages with Keller Williams. Talk to me about your radio show. You come in with the ideas already because you've written close to 100 books, right? So you have the model. And I remember taking one of my classes back in school. I think it was one of the humanities classes, but it talks about how, in the beginning of a movie, you're going to find out who the characters are. They're going to show you, oh, this is the guy playing basketball in the hills, and this is the guy from the inner city, and then this is, and then you set the story, and then you have some kind of climatic event or something that happens.
Right.
So you walk us through that as authors, as the ghostwriter. You kind of lead us down that path and make it super simple, man.
Yeah, well, most of my clients are people that it's not that they really can't write a book, but they don't have the time. So that's one of the biggest value adds that we provide. Yeah. We'll get you your book done professionally, but without much of your time, the client. Yeah. And that's exactly it. Our process is, I used to write a book in a weekend. I used to write a book in 30 days. I don't do that anymore because it's too rushed. And every single one of my clients at that point lamented things that they left off. Oh my goodness, I didn't thank my mother. She's pissed at me. or whatever it was. So what we do now is once we identify all the chapters, which takes about it's a 90-minute session, then we give the client a whole week to think about something that they're already very good at.
Right.
And then I challenge them. I say, hey, when I interview you, don't give me the stuff you've been regurgitating for the last 10 years. This book may define you for the next 10 years. Yeah. So that gives the client a whole week to think about 3 or 4 things that they're already well versed in.
Right.
And so now they're giving me much better content than if they would have written it all by themselves, if they had not been with this process or tried to rush the book. And that gives us, the ghostwriters, enough time to really get the client's voice. So after we interview, we send the chapter, and the client gets to say, hey, I love this, I don't like that, let's change this. And if they're honest enough with their edits, what they want us to change, by the time we're doing chapters 3, chapter 4, we are cruising.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're only spending an hour a day talking to us, and then in a few days they're reading their chapter. It's like we're Santa's helpers or something.
Or an hour a week, right?
Right, an hour a week. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah. So when you look at the process and you're able to put that finished project out, that book's there. You walk into, for example, with me for a listing appointment, I offer it as a gift for my clients, prospects. If I'm on stage speaking, which I love to speak as well on stages, I have them there as well. For sale, but most of the time you end up giving them out. A lot of times, that's the idea. But I love the idea of putting in fresh content ideas, researching some of the ideas, and going back to another point you made about potentially putting out blogs and updating your websites, with this content. You can turn some of your previous content that you've written into a chapter in your book too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do a lot of faith-based books as well. So blogs or like sermon series the pastors have preached, all those things you can then repurpose it and convert them into a book. A lot of people think that they probably don't have a book in them, without realizing they've already written 2 books in their blogs.
Right.
And if they look back at their contents, the ones that have gotten a lot of engagement, something that they're passionate about, there's probably a book in just a few posts that they've done.
Yeah.
We've all got a story, but you don't have to have gone through something traumatic in order to write a book. Your unique perspective provides leadership to so many people. There's more people than ever in the world, and more people than ever are lost.
Yeah.
They're looking for leadership.
Yep.
You know, so right now, you know, how have you handled the pandemic? What have you learned from it? Write it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody can learn from it. You know, share it. You know, but I will say, while talking about posting and stuff, in this particular day and age, this very moment, you know, it's very important not to be tone deaf to what's going on. And a lot of business people I believe are doing a mistake by not being empathetic enough with the pandemic, with the riots, with all this craziness that's going on.
Yep.
They're still trying to sell.
Yep.
I was so excited at the beginning of last week, because now for the first time we have payment plans. Payment plans, right? So we've never offered that before. But because of the pandemic, I you know, it's not that we're going to undervalue ourselves, but we figured, okay, let's do payment plans. Brandon, I got a videographer, came over, and we spent time and we spent money on doing this professional video announcing payment plans. We've held it because it's not the time right now. It'll come off tacky. It won't come off when we bring it out. We want to bring it out. Hey, we understand that you're suffering. We understand you may not have money. You know, so here's now another option for you. But if we went and just did that, we would be tone deaf to what's going on, and then it may not be viewed by many people as likable or that we're trying to help.
Got it.
So yes, you know, use your posts, use the written word wisely, but don't just sell right now. Right now is a time to be empathetic, and not divisive. Empathetic doesn't mean telling your story and that's it. You know, empathetic means you know, try to stay kind of neutral in writing something that's going to be magnetic in people's ire.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of business owners that are doing just that. They're just writing from the heart, and there's not that they're right or wrong, but they're isolating themselves from potential clients because of what they're doing. If you're a business owner, you have to be cognizant of the fact that a lot of people think like you and a lot of people don't.
Exactly.
So it's time to be smart. It's time to be empathetic, and it's time to offer leadership and guidance.
Collaborate.
Right.
I feel like it's a collaborative economy right now. It needs to be, especially local Tampa Bay businesses. Let's support one another. Let's not hoard resources. Let's be a collaborative. Let's figure out ways that we can barter with each other, work together. You know, there's a lot of ways that we can help each other. It's time for our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning round.
All right, let's see if we have Diane Vance still. Diane Vance, you still with us? William Crowley.
I am.
Okay, there she goes. Top tips, parting words.
Top tips is if you are renting and you were furloughed and you are back to work, go to my website or give me a call, and or go to Brandon's website, and let's get you started on the home path.
That's right. Get into home ownership. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, DianeVance.com. All right, William Crowley, the credit magician. William, I think he had to take a call. Okay, back in studio here. Eli Gonzalez, top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom is to use the written word to heal, to be empathetic. Don't try to sell right now. And then later in a few weeks, when things die down again, you'll have more people that like you and trust you. And I do have to say that we do have our payment plans for the first time. So my website, godfatherofghostwriting.com or theghostpublishing.com, get in touch with us. And we now have payment plans that you dictate, not us.
Yeah, I like that. So give me a high-low on, you know, what would it cost me to write a book, for example? I don't know if you want to throw that out there. Or...
Well, it varies. You know, I'm fortunate enough to have some brilliant minds on my team. So there's a large scale, depending on the size of the book, depending on who writes it.
Yep.
But so that the listeners understand and know, it goes anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 to $20,000, depending again on who writes it on my team and the length of the book.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
And it's all not one payment. It's made in a payment plan as well.
It's an investment in your future. It's an investment in your business. Just like if you're buying an asset or, you know, something in the field that you need, you know, you need this book. You got to be, you know, separating yourself from your competition. I love the idea. I'll offer a quick quick tip here for our lightning round today. I would think about the idea of incantations. Incantations, affirmations, whatever you want to call it. For me, when I feel like I've had a bad call, somebody's being difficult to deal with, a potential prospect or client, who knows. What I do is I go back to my common thread of positively talking to myself. So positive self-talk, in other words. So, I'm happy and grateful now that money flows to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. That's one of them. So happy and grateful, and then you come up with these different incantations that works for you. And I'm blessed and highly favored is another big one. Think about that. When you think about that and you talk about that to yourself, you're going to implement that and you're going to imprint that in your mind. And it's going to help you stay positive. It's going to help you move in the right directions, especially when you're being pulled into a tunnel of negativity sometimes. So think about those incantations, affirmations, write them down, repeat them. And hey, another great show. I want to thank Diane, Vance, William Crowley, Eli Gonzalez, all of our expert contributors, our producers, and of course you, our listeners out there. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Donate some time, donate some blood. Lots of things you can do to be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time.